The last tutorial focused on melody improvisation with all white keys. This time we will look into accompanying our improvisation with the left hand. We have already used 3 different chord progressions during the previous tutorials. We had a sad chord progression and a happy chord progression, and we combined both of them. We have 7 different chords available, which are all built with white keys. Any combination is possible and will work. However, some chord progressions are stronger than others. I like to give 2 more examples of common chord progressions for improvisation. The first one is 1, 6, 4, 5. And the other one is 6, 2, 5, 1. You will realize that these chord progressions are not so easy to play, because our left hand has to jump up and down the keyboard. In the next step, I will show how to optimize the fingering of the left hand. We will use chord inversions to optimize the left hand position. The idea is that any chord can be played in different ways by shifting a note 1 octave up or down. Because 1 octave up or down, you have the same notes. The 7 chords I have shown before are all in the so-called root position. First inversion means to shift the first note 1 octave up. Let's take the chord based on our reference key. Now we shift the first key 1 octave up. This is our first inversion. If we, in addition, shift the third key 1 octave up, then we receive the second inversion. Actually, it is very simple. We have 7 different chords with white keys. And each of these 7 chords has 2 inversions by shifting keys 1 octave up. For the first chord, for example, and for the second chord, for the third chord, and so on. Let's come back to our chord progression 1, 6, 4, 5. Instead of jumping up and down, we use chord inversions to optimize the fingering. So for the first chord, we use the second inversion. The second chord we keep in root position. The third chord we use the first inversion. The last chord we use the first inversion. And then our chord progression becomes and we don't have to jump up and down the keyboard so much. Try your own chord progressions. A chord progression can have just 2 different chords, but it can also have many more. You can play the chord progression fast or slow. You can play each chord short or long. For example, 2 beats per chord or 4 beats per chord. You can also just hold the chord and count the beats, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or emphasize certain beats. For example, beats 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I have shown a few more common chord progressions in this tutorial, and I ask you to try more chord progressions and try different rhythms. You will experience that some combinations of our 7 available chords work better than others. But the most important thing to keep in mind is to find the best chord inversion for each chord to optimize the fingering. Because then you don't need to concentrate so much on playing the chord progression, and you can focus on the improvisation of the melody. In the next tutorial, we will not just play each chord 4 times and randomly play the white keys. I will give an example how to develop a song from a chord progression and an improvisation scale. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye.